What should you do if a hair transplant clinic you are looking at offers free PRP or upsells you PRP sessions? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about why PRP may become a problem for you, the PRP illusion, and third, the cost comparison of PRP in the long term. My name is Jesse and I've had a hair transplant done and went my hair from looking like this to looking like this. And I've also helped over 300 men to overcome the hair loss as well. Let's go. So what if a hair transplant clinic gives you free PRP sessions or upsells you PRP sessions? Whatever it is, let's dive in. So first, some clinics offer PRP sessions with your hair transplant, and they may do it as an upsell, like, hey, the hair transplant itself is this price, and on top of that, this will be the extra price for the PRP, or maybe the PRP is included. But what they can just easily do is increase the original base price, say it's included, and then it looks like the better offer, even though you're still paying for it, And hair transplant clinics can use this like a bonus or like essential for recovery or a guarantee, something like that. Like you need to get the PRP done because this will give you more regrowth, it will increase your graft survivability, and it all sounds absolutely amazing, and I wish it was true, but things are not as good as they seem. So why is PRP even a problem? First off, not everyone responds to it. The overall response rate is like 50%. So you get it done and you either you respond to it or you don't. And it's around a 50-50 distribution. So it may just be completely useless to you. Or you respond very well to it. And in that case, I think you have even bigger problems to consider. That's because the regrowth you get isn't permanent. And just like with medical therapy, like finasteride, minoxidil, dutasteride, the regrowth isn't permanent. If you stop it, you go back to your original baseline as if you've never used it in the first place. Also, you have to consider needles. If you don't like needles, well, bad luck, because you need to get it done regularly, multiple times per year, most often like 4 times per year. And if you don't like needles, you don't like dealing with that, bad luck, because you still need to get it done, because the initial extraction is done with a needle where they extract the blood, then they put it in a centrifuge, and then they take the PRP itself and re-inject it back into your scalp. And so you have to deal with needles from the beginning and also until the very end. Not very nice. Also, it's very expensive. PRP sessions alone can cost like $300 per session. And like I said before, you need to get them done regularly. And so a very average price for that would be like $300 every time. But you need to get them done many times per year, for example, 4 times per year, which is very average. So your $300 session becomes a $1,200 a year subscription, basically, which is very expensive. I'm not going to waste that kind of money on that. Also, there's no data on PRP's impact on graft survival. Many people that push PRP show some kind of studies that say like, hey, PRP works way better, you get more regrowth, higher hair count, and I absolutely agree. PRP can give you a higher hair count. But the problem is that these hair counts also rely on the PRP. I recently saw a study that was like, hey, this is the group with hair transplants only, and this is the group with hair transplant plus PRP only. And then 12 months later or 6 months later, something like that, they looked at both groups and they saw that the PRP study plus hair transplant had a higher hair count. And I completely agree with that. But the problem is that the PRP sessions were still continued all the way up into the follow-up period. So this doesn't really say anything about graft survival. I haven't been able to find a specific study on PRP's impact on graft survival. What you actually want is a study that uses hair transplant group and also a hair transplant plus PRP group, but the PRP group would have only done the PRP once after the hair transplant. It can be during the hair transplant or like in the week post-op, a month post-op, whatever, but something like that, at least close to the actual operation time, to see what the healing effects are. And maybe I'm completely wrong in the future. Maybe something new comes out, a new study comes out that shows like if you do PRP once, it will be way better. But I haven't been able to find it. I'm not going to assume that's going to exist in the future. And the final problem is that the PRP is often done 12 months post-op, which means is that you get a hair transplant done, but the PRP sessions also are done for the entire duration or the entire recovery period of the hair transplant. And so when you go back to the clinic 12 months later, you look at the results, but the results you get aren't actually the real hair transplant results. The PRP results, if you respond well to it, also get mixed in. And so that basically means that the extra regrowth you get is artificial. So this is the PRP illusion. We're going to look at 1 versus 12 months without PRP and 1 versus 12 months with PRP. These two situations are the exact same. The only difference is that one of them used PRP. First, at month 1, you are right here at Norwood 4, you get a hair transplant done, and then later at month 12, the hair transplant is done, the final results are in, and you are now Norwood 3. Amazing, right? And so what happens is that in the exact same situation, what happened if you use PRP? Well, if you use PRP, you still start at Norwood 4, but then at month 12 you aren't here, but you are actually here. Maybe you are now in Norwood 2, or at least Norwood 3 with more density, something like that. And this is absolutely amazing, right? This looks great. And these are also the results that get photographed by the hair transplant clinic, because it looks so amazing, right? But again, this is the PRP zone. This zone completely relies on you continuing to use PRP, and maybe you get PRP done for a year, 1.5 years, 2 years, and then you can still get the benefits from that. But after a while, you're like, it's not really for me. I don't like the needles, or it's too expensive for me to keep up with it. You stop it, and then you still go down to this exact line. And this line is the exact same. You're going to still get back to the Norwood 3, which you would have gotten anyway, even without the PRP. And when you are looking at hair transplant clinics that do this, you are looking at this. You are not looking at this line. So please remember that. This is how they can make it better than it actually is. So what does it all come down to? First off, PRP isn't permanent. You need consistent sessions around 4 times per year to get the results and keep the results as well. And also, PRP is basically worse minoxidil. Why do I say that? Because if you stop PRP, you go back to your baseline as if you've never used it. The exact same still happens for minoxidil. But the problem is that PRP works less well, has worse efficacy, but at 6 times the price. So for example, if you are on minoxidil right now, maybe the cost of that is like $200 per year, something like that, which isn't that much. But with PRP, with $300 sessions that you need to get done 4 times per year, that's a $1,200 per year subscription. So that's 6 times the price. Is that worth it for you? Well, maybe, but not for everyone. Also, PRP does not improve your actual hair transplant results. Like I said before, those recommended PRP use flawed studies. We want objective studies that actually point to PRP improving the hair graft survival rate. But I haven't seen those before. I wish someone released a study like that, and then if that happens, I will make a new video saying I was completely wrong about PRP. It works. Please go use it. I will make that video, but right now that data isn't there, the evidence isn't there, nothing supports it, and so I'm not gonna assume that's gonna exist in the future because it doesn't exist right now. Again, because I say once you stop, you go back to your baseline as if you've never used it. So if you use it for a very long time, you're just going to go into a sunk cost fallacy that you have to keep doing it to keep the results. Also, PRP isn't regulated. It isn't approved, it isn't regulated, and what you could be getting is just basically expensive microneedling with extra steps, and you're paying hundreds of dollars for the privilege, which doesn't sound that right to me. So honestly, don't use it even if it's free. Even if it's free, even if you respond very well to it, don't use it, because the end result of the hair transplant doesn't depend on this. And so if you look better during the 12-month post-op, but after the post-op, you stop the PRP, then you go back to what you actually look like, and that may just not be as good as you wanted to, and that can create a bit of sadness. I will say that can create a bit of sadness because you know how good you can look, but you don't look as good anymore. So it's just better to avoid that. And then for a cost comparison, so if PRP costs you $1,200 per year, so $300 sessions, and that 4 times per year, that's $1,200 per year. That's $12,000 per decade. So if you are 30 right now, for example, you still have like 5 decades left. 5 decades for $12K per decade, that's $60K. That's $60K. And so even an expensive hair transplant at $20K will be cheaper in the long run. You will also have better results from it. And hair transplants are pretty much permanent. they are pretty much permanent. Not always, and there are many cases where they are not permanent. I will create a future video on that, but they are pretty much permanent. PRP isn't. If you stop it, you will just go back to baseline as if you've never used it. I'm gonna keep repeating that phrase until the day I die. So the final question is, do you want to know how to choose the right clinic the first time? The fact is that navigating hair transplant clinics these days is an absolute minefield. There's so much content out there which the algorithm is pushing, or you have paid ads, and then you see so many marketing tactics that clinics use to get you to buy. Like I say with PRP, it isn't as simple as just choosing it, getting it done, and then you will be happy forever. There's so much more that comes with it. So if you have a question about it, do you want to know how to choose the right clinic, click below and book a call so we can talk about your hair transplant options and see how we can pick your ideal hair transplant clinic together. Because I've been there before and I had to do it completely by myself, and I almost chose the wrong clinic because of it. Luckily I didn't, and these days it's pretty easy for me to recognize these bad clinics. But if you are new to it, you want to make the right choice the first time, click below, book a call, and I'll talk to you soon. Anyway, this is the end of the video. I'm doing a full June challenge, so tomorrow I will upload another video regarding hair transplants. Let me know what you want to see, and anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.